Now that is how you do a training episode, man. Like, after 4 episodes in this training arc, we are finally getting some real progress with Boruto and Sarada, especially with Boruto with this fight against Shojoji. We finally got to see his new Rasengan, this compressed, dense Rasengan, where he stores up chakra into it up to a limit where it basically explodes when he uses this Rasengan. And it was powerful as hell against Shojoji, man. Like, Boruto versus Shojoji, let's talk about that first, right? Boruto versus Shojoji, that was a really good quick fight. Even though like Boruto bodied his shit, we finally got to see how strong this Rasengan is. And even though Shojoji, he blocked it, like he partially blocked it with his repel jutsu, it was enough damage to literally send him flying back into the walls and destroy his entire chest. Like, that Rasengan is powerful as hell. Like, Kakashi even straight up said if Shojoji wasn't guarding himself, he would have died. Like, this Rasengan is powerful, man. And I feel like a lot of people, they're gonna be very surprised when we see Boruto use this Rasengan on Deepa at maximum power, because if you looked at that fight with Boruto and Shojoji was blocking, and if he didn't block, he would have got his shit rocked. And even though he was blocking, he still got rocked. This Rasengan is powerful as hell, and we're just seeing just how strong this is. If you remember, like in the beginning of this training arc, Boruto asked Kakashi if he can make a Odama Rasengan, a giant Rasengan. Kakashi says he doesn't have the chakra to do it, so Boruto, instead of trying to make a Odama Rasengan, he makes a small Rasengan, basically a mini Rasengan, compressing the chakra, condensing it into a small little ball to the point where it's powerful as hell at the point of explosion. That is some big brain from Boruto, man. Like, I can't wait to see Boruto use this Rasengan on Deepa. I can't wait to see him use this Rasengan on him, because this shit is going to be lethal as hell. After Boruto bodies Shojoji, he faints and he's in the hospital. So now let's talk about Sarada's training. So Sarada, I feel like her training is really slow. Obviously, like, she's training with Sasuke. At this rate, like, it's going very slowly at this point compared to Boruto's. It's taking her some time to develop her Sharingan, and she has some progress, of course. Like, Sasuke's throwing some rocks, then it went into kunai, and this is where we see Sakura come up. She's there, it's like, hey, let me help you with your training. And I didn't review the last episode, but the episode before this, Sakura was really worried about her kid. You know, she's a mom, of course, so I don't blame her the way she was acting. The way Sakura saw how Sarada came back and how she saw how fucked up Sarada was from her fight against Deepa, she was so worried. She was, you know, very down and depressed, and Ino and Hinata had to cheer her up, and they showed her resolve. They showed her that, hey, you have to believe in your kid for once and be prepared for the worst. And that's what Sakura did this episode. The Boruto anime, they're giving her character development, and Sakura, this episode, she tested Sarada's resolve. She gave her a resolve to train for, and she exposed her weakness. Sakura showed that Sarada, she needs to work on her chakra control, because we know that Sakura has like perfect maximum chakra control to the point where she can produce nukes from her hands, and Sarada, she has the same thing, but we see Sakura show how weak Sarada's chakra control is compared to Sakura's, and it was really good. It really put resolve into Sarada's training, because I feel like Sarada, she, even though she was motivated to get her Sharingan up and improve it with Sasuke, she really didn't have a motivation besides, oh, I need to get stronger to fight Deepa. Like, there wasn't anything besides that. There wasn't that oomph that she needed in this training, and Sakura really gave her that oomph in this training, you know, because even Sasuke straight up said, like, I couldn't even see this. I didn't even know there was a problem with this training, and Sakura was the one who said this. And we know how smart Sasuke is. He's like Batman Sensei. He's so smart. He's one of the smartest characters in the show, if not the smartest, and he couldn't even see this problem with Sarada, and Sakura could. And we see Sakura versus Sarada, and Sakura was fucking her up. Like, obviously she was holding back, but she really exposed Sarada's weakness of, hey, your chakra control is not that good. You need to get that up to improve your Sharingan. And I really like this because it's more development for Sarada and Sakura. Obviously, like I said, Sakura was really, you know, down and depressed last episode, but now she's very upbeat and confident with her kid, and to the point where she wants to train her to improve Sarada's power. So I really like that from the animators and the writers this episode, and we get to see Sakura versus Sarada, which in my opinion was the better part of this episode, and we got some really cool fighting scenes despite being so short. Like, it was 2 fights, you know, the first fight with Sakura and Sarada, Sakura was easily dodging all of Sarada's attacks and making it look really easy in front of her, and Sarada, she literally faints in front of Sakura when Sakura destroys the tree. Like, Sarada's like, damn, I gotta fight that shit, and she basically faints and she's on the ground, and Sakura really puts in, like, hammers it down, like, yo, you need to get your chakra control up to improve your Sharingan in order to get better and stronger as a shinobi. And then we get a small break, and then we get a rematch with Sakura and Sarada a couple minutes later, and we see Sarada more determined than ever. She's like, damn, I really gotta put some effort against my mom. Even though she's so much stronger than me, I have to put some effort. And we see Sarada really determined, and she was able to go almost blow for blow with Sakura. Like, obviously Sakura was still fucking her up, but Sarada Sarada, she was able to match her chakra control using her Sharingan. You know, I was really impressed with Sarada's determination and will to keep up with her mom, even though her mom is so much stronger than her. So, you know, I really liked that out of this episode. The training and the resolve that Sakura put on Sarada was amazing. I loved it, man. I was getting hyped during that scene. You should definitely check out the episode, man, because this was probably the best episode of this training arc so far within the car activation arc. This was a great way to wrap up the training. You know, I feel like Boruto, his training is done, and Sarada, she has a little bit more to go, I feel like, because now Sakura has put in some resolve into Sarada's training, and she realized that Sarada has a weakness with their Sharingan, which is she lacks chakra control. Even though Sarada's chakra control is amazing in A1, it still needs to improve in order to get her Sharingan up and improve that potency of her skill with the Sharingan. So I think she's going to train a little bit more in order to improve her Sharingan with Sakura, which I'm glad for because we're getting more Sakura development, and I like seeing Sakura and Sasuke in the episodes. I appreciate that at the Boruto animators. And you know, a funny thing is, like, at the end of the episode, Sakura was like, I'm gonna show you how I trained under Tsunade. I'm gonna teach you the teachings that Tsunade taught me. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like, I like that at the end of the episode. That shit was hilarious. But you know, I enjoyed this episode overall. It was a great episode, man. Yeah, this episode was the best episode in this mini training arc so far. In my opinion, one of the better episodes of the car activation arc. The car activation arc has been really good, I'm not gonna lie. I think this is the best arc in the Boruto anime. Everything is connecting to Kara. There was a training arc that we all desperately wanted in the anime and the manga. We're getting close to the Owl arc, by the way. Like, I can't wait for this shit, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, man. So if I could rate it out of 10, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It wasn't 10 out of 10 only because it isn't like episode 65 level, but it was still really good nonetheless. I really fucked with this episode. I enjoyed it, man. So yeah, let me know what you think of this episode. What would you rate it out of 10? So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.